Good day everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be doing a little introduction to 3D modeling. So the first thing we'll do is to download the software that I use, which is Fusion 360. It has a free version for hobbyists or students. So the first thing, get onto Google and write in download Fusion 360 and such. So you'll see the first link here, you go on autodesk.com. Okay, now that you're on the website, you will see the trial version of Fusion 360 for educational use or Fusion 360 for personal or hobbies. If you're a student, go ahead and choose the Fusion 360 for educational use, where you'll use your school email address and get Fusion 360 with most of the optional features for free for 1 year. Also, please bear in mind that the email address, school email, has to end with .edu to confirm that it's a school email address. Alright, school or university. So for this example, I'll use the personal or hobby use. So go ahead and put in your email address and sign in and download. So since I'm using a Mac, it will be slightly different than a Windows, but everything should be pretty much the same as you download any other software. So I'll skip that part to cut down the time on the video and go straight ahead into the software. Here we are in the Fusion 360 software. In this video, I wouldn't go into details of explaining every feature and function or the use of it. I'm just going to use the software to show the fundamental principles of 3D modeling or the generation of primitives, which are the basic shapes or building blocks 3D modeling. So here I have a few 2D objects, which are circles, semicircles, and squares, and a rectangle. So a cylinder. What is a cylinder? Basically, a cylinder is just a circle which is extruded. Extrusion is the term we use in 3D modeling to say it's stretching an object in a specific dimension or the axis. The three axes, which is the Z, the X, and the Y. So as you can see, I'm moving the navigation cube here. It moves the objects in the 3D planes. Yeah. So there is the right plane. On top of the right plane, we have the top plane, we have the back plane, the bottom plane, and the left plane. So we'll just be starting in the right plane. So just get back in the front. Okay, let us start in the front plane, since there is the plane in which we draw on all the shapes. So just to orient it back, I rotate it a few steps, 2 degrees. Alright, so on the extreme left, I've already extruded the cylinder so you can see that we're in 3 dimensions. So by just extending in the green line, which is the Y axis, we extrude and make a cylinder. So as you can see here, this cylinder, you can just extrude by just, what we say, stretching the circle in the Y plane. To make a sphere, we'll use a different concept, slightly different but similar. We'll use, instead of we use the extrude, which is on the top left, we use the next one to it, which is revolve. It's quite similar to the extrude, but however, instead of you stretching the object, so to speak, in a straight line or in an axis X, Y, or Z, we'll be stretching it around an axis. So in this case, we'll be extruding this semicircle around this axis, which is in the Z, this vertical axis here, and there we go. We rotate it, stretch it around in 360, and we get a sphere. So now to get a cone, we'll have to use a slightly different from the other two, which is same stretching, but we're using the profile and we'll stretch in a guide, a more controlled way. So this tool is called a loft, which creates a transitional shape between two or more sketch profiles or planar faces. So we click on it, we choose the profile, which is the circle. So here we click on it and we want to stretch it to this point. So by doing this, you can see the profile converges into a point and forms a cone. The next is a cube. So a cube is simply a square where you should extrude to the equal of the length. So in this case, we'll be extruding it 30. Since it's a 30 by 30 square, we'll have to extrude it by a distance of 30 in the z-axis. There we go, we have a cube. And now for a prism, which is similar to a cone, but instead of using a circular profile, we'll be using a square as the base profile. So we go back into the lofting tool, choose the profile, and then so we go back to the lofting tool, choose loft, and we choose the profile, and then we choose the points which we want it to loft to. And there we go, we have a prism. Cuboid is just like the cube, but obviously using a rectangle as the base, so therefore the length or the width will be greater or lesser than the other. So we choose extrude, choose the profile and extrude it. In this, just for simplicity, I'll use same 30 millimeters. And there we go, you have a cuboid. Now the torus is a little more difficult. Basically a torus is like a donut or a tire tube shape. So in this case we want to get the cylinder, but we want to get the cylinder curved like a donut. So we'll choose the new tool, which is sweep, which basically sweeps a profile, or basically stretches a profile along a selected path. In this case, along this circular path right here. So we choose the profile, which is this vertical circle, and we want to extrude it, or you could say stretch it along this bigger circle here, which is the path. And there we go. So this is most of the primitives you could use and combine them to have different shapes. So for this video, we'll cut it short and just do a recap. And so first on the left, we have a cylinder where we use a circle and extrude it in the y-axis, the green axis, to form a cylinder. Then the sphere, we use a half a circle or semicircle, and we revolve it around an axis 360 degrees to form the sphere. The cone, we have a circle, as you can see in the back, and in this case we loft it, which is basically just stretch it to a point. And the cube, we extrude a square by the equal length of the by distance, which is 30 millimeters. Since the length and the height is 30 because it's a square, we extrude it by 30 in the x-axis, in the y-axis, sorry. The cuboid is the same as the cube, but we have a longer width and a shorter height. We extrude it in this case by the same height, which is 25. And then lastly, we have the torus, or the donut shape, which we use a circular profile and we sweep it along a path, which is a circular path on the torus. So that's all, guys. If you like this video and you think this is something you can use in the future, please subscribe and like, comment below what you want to see next. But the next video will be using these shapes to form a more complex shape, so please stick around. Thank you.